I'm searching out the rarest cars in America, on the back roads, hiding in barns, untold secrets of pure muscle and steel just waiting to be discovered. Gold on wheels. Oh my gosh. My name is John Haynes, and it's my journey to find them. Yeah, hello gorgeous. Look at that. I am the American Car Prospector. The American Car Prospector is on the prowl. For many years, this red sports car has been behind a window in an office building downtown in Lower Denver. And it was used as a lobby display piece for an architecture firm. And one day, about 3 months ago, I was walking by there and I had noticed that the architecture firm had gone out of the space and that they had subleased it to another company who was not the original architecture firm. So it occurred to me that perhaps it was time to make a call to this organization and discover if they would like to not own the vehicle any longer. So I was fortunate enough to get their attention, and they told me that yes, it was a good time to potentially make an offer to buy the car and to move it out of the space that it had completed its life cycle as basically an advertising piece for this high-profile architecture firm. The individual who originally bought it was a senior partner at Oz who is now retired. He purchased it about 1953 timeframe, so it was just a couple of years old, and he was a young man when he bought it. It hasn't been started in many, many years, but it was properly mothballed. It looks to me like they took some very elaborate care of it. They properly lubricated it and properly stored it before it was put away. So it hasn't just been sitting there. It was stored for storage by people who are English car experts, and that's a number of years ago now. It is arguably one of the very best in the world. Hello, gorgeous. This is a one-of-a-kind opportunity for a car guy like me. I remember seeing this car years ago and wondering what the story was, and it is a beautiful piece. It's fire engine red. It's just a beautiful, beautiful old car that it was always a bit of a mystery why it was behind this office facade and why it was sort of this, what I called the sports car under glass was the term that I always used for it when I thought about it. Look at that. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Looks like John has got his hands on a 1951 MG TD. The MG TD midget sports car began its production in 1949 by William Morris to compete in the American market. It came just after World War II. This car boasted a 1250cc engine and had a top speed of 79 miles per hour. And it went from 0 to 60 in a mere 20.6 seconds. This particular MG has sat in this architecture office for over 30 years. And now, hopefully, the American Car Prospector can set it free.
86,135 miles. No, 66,000. Wow, this is a really, really good car. I mean, it's just in beautiful condition. Incredible, totally incredible.
When we come back on the American Car Prospector, John tries to strike up a deal with the owner of this MG TD. Plus, John's unannounced and unwelcomed visit to a place that holds many secrets.
Hey, are you the owner of this building?
No, but I know what's going on here. How can I help you?
got a rare find on his hands, a 1951 MGT model. He wants this car bad.
This is a great moment for a car guy like me. I could have called this firm, I think maybe a dozen times before I finally got to the person who I needed to speak to. And they could have told me, no, it's not for sale, or there could have been any number of things that could have prevented us from obtaining the vehicle.
He's been looking it over, and the owner just walked in. Let's see if John can make some kind of deal on this amazing car.
When was the last time you actually drove it?
Well, we drove it at a anniversary at the 40th anniversary of the firm.
Of the
84.
Right, the 40th anniversary of the architecture firm.
Yes.
And it was used in the lobby up in your Boulder office for a long time.
That's right.
Right, so almost anybody from Boulder from that day and age might remember this vehicle.
I'm sure they will.
Right.
We bought it because we thought it would be more fun to have that than furniture.
There you go. All right, well, let's look under the hood and just see what the engine looks like. This is that old style hood. I'm gonna just set it right up on that notch is where I would have put it, right there, huh? Next spot, there you go.
So far, it looks like things are going well with John and Alan, the owner. John's chances of getting this great car are getting better by the second.
You know, I'm really excited about this car because I see that it has very low mileage on it.
Right.
Do you think that's the original mileage on the clock?
I think it is. When we bought this car, all of the partners in the firm had teenage children. And so this car was in a fair number of homecoming parades and visited kids' houses.
Up in Boulder?
In Boulder.
Primarily up in the Boulder area. Well, that's great. So it was used for parade use.
That's right.
Yeah, maybe a prom queen or two got sat in the back seat.
Exactly.
And is this pretty much the condition it was in when you got it?
It was pretty much restored when we bought it. A man who had restored it and then was afraid to drive it
Really?
because he didn't want to do damage to it. So
Right.
he put it on the market. We bought it for something like $4,000.
Really?
Did Alan just say $4,000? I'll bet there's no way that Alan's going to let this car go for that price. That may be what he paid for it, but not what he's selling it for.
And the other story is my wife and I, when we were married in 1953, we owned a 1952 MGTD. And so our honeymoon was spent in a car very much like this one.
And so that was your honeymoon vehicle.
That's
was
right.
It? Very, very cool. Okay, this car is extremely important to the future of my company. If something was to happen, something that was out of my control or whatever it is, it could mean that the company's progress and growth could be slowed down very significantly.
Even though Alan bought this rare car for $4,000, John knows what it's worth. John shot a price of $13,000 to Alan to put this car on the market to his buyers. Let's see if Alan accepts.
Thanks, Alan.
Okay, good.
All right.
Well, that about wraps this deal up. Let's tally things up. Purchase price on this 1951 MGTD, $13,000. John's prospector fee for this rare find, $3,000. John will be offering this to his MG buyers at $16,000. A fully restored 1951 MGTD can be worth well over $20,000 and will be a great investment to John's buyers at only $16,000. Looks like the American car prospector has done it again. Wait, how are they going to get this car out of the store? Stay tuned.
Okay, whoa, Eric. If something goes wrong with this vehicle, it could jeopardize my whole company.
The American car prospector, John Hames, is in downtown Denver, Colorado, and just secured what might be one of his rarest finds, a 1951 MGTD. But this car is sitting inside a store, and now they have to figure out how to get it out of the store and onto the trailer.
The thing that I'm probably most worried about today is that we have too many unknowns in this situation. For one thing, we don't even know if that vehicle will roll. My assumption is that it will roll off that stand on the ramps that are there. That's just an assumption. One way or another, we're going to have to solve that problem. It's got to be able to be moved off that stand and down onto the wooden floor. That wooden floor was built over 100 years ago. We've got a lot of reinforcing under it, but there's no guarantees here. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen moving this car. I personally would like to drive this car very, very much, and we can't damage it in that process and still make that happen. Okay, whoa, Eric, come here, get on that other side, would you? And just hold it by the tire so it doesn't roll too fast. Okay, come on back. Good, slow, real slow. Nice. The two biggest risks financially in this are, number one, that the vehicle would be damaged in a way that would permanently affect its overall value. Right now, it's a pristine example of this vehicle, probably almost unobtainable here or in Europe. This is a classic collector car that simply can't be replaced if it's damaged. It's in immaculate, original condition. It's really a special car. We want to make sure we don't damage it, which would not only take all of the profit out of the car, it would mean that I would go backwards in this transaction. I can't afford to do that, and I need everything to go right on this particular move and this particular vehicle recovery. It's very, very important that it go without a single problem.
Out of gear?
Out of gear. Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
There you go, huh?
Looks like the crew have won the first battle. Now, they've got a plan to get the car right out the front door.
Okay, now the next time we do this, we'll know what to do. I am so relieved that we got that vehicle out off the ramp without the floor caving in, and then without it hitting the door and without it being damaged. I think the thing that took me by surprise the most was how hard it was to roll the car with the flat tires. I assumed that because it was so light, that it would be relatively simple to just get it to roll off the ramp, but it took a lot of horsepower, a lot of guys pushing on it and shoving on it to get it down onto the ground. That kind of surprised me. Nice job, Eric.
Thanks, buddy.
I think the guys did great. We had guys with a lot of strength and muscle, and that's what it took to get this thing down onto the ground, out the door and onto the trailer without damaging it. My guys did great. I'm really proud of them today, really proud. Nice, guys. Right on. That's what I'm talking about. Right there.
John and his crew got this beautiful car trailered and will be taking it back to the shop to go through it and get it running like new again.
American Car Prospector. It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it.
When we come back on the American Car Prospector, does John get hit or does he hit the Prospector jackpot?
Look at this. In the summer of 2011, I think I found one of the rarest Corvette artifacts in the world, and I have it here today at the Man Cave. There's some debate about what this really is, but what I think it is a factory promotional 4/10 scale Corvette body. I found this in a barn in Weld County last summer, and I really think that this is the last one of the original promotional Corvette bodies. This is not a Toycraft body like you occasionally see on eBay. Once in a while a Toycraft shows up, but those were powered by gasoline. There's no evidence that this body has any petrochemical stains or anything on it that it would have been gasoline. I really think this is the last 4/10 scale 1958 Corvette go-kart body. But I'm very excited about this piece. It has a lot of potential to add to the legacy of Corvette, and I did find it right here in Colorado in the summer of 2011. And I just think it's a really, really beautiful, cool piece that, if I'm right, is the only one in the world.
So far in Denver, Colorado, John's found a rare 1951 MGTD, and he's got a funny feeling about an old shed he saw on the way downtown. And for the American car prospector, his hunches usually lead to rare automobiles.
There's a place down here where I've seen guys carrying what looks like car parts in and out of it a few times, and they had a lot of power tools and air tools and stuff. I just got a feeling that there might be something down here in this old shed behind this building down here, and that gate is locked all the time and there's hardly ever anybody here. I would defy someone else to try to do what I do. I make a lot of failures in my attempts to locate these vehicles. I think if someone else would try to do this, that they would either have to be very, very lucky or very, very lucky and very, very good. I think that it's right here. Let's just stop and see if I can figure this out.
John's approaching dangerous territory. Usually, keep out signs and locks mean they don't want any visitors. Plus, there's some pretty interesting items around this building.
Well, they're trying to keep people out of there, which means there's something in there, you know? And they got a good, strong, maintained gate. You know, they got something in there. I don't know, I'll bet there's cars in there is what I'm thinking. I got a feeling about it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff with wheels on that I can see, you know? There's just trailers and there's, you know, I see an old tool over there on the ground and...
Little does John know, but he's now got someone coming his way, and he doesn't look friendly. John better get over there.
Hey, are you the owner of this building?
No, but I know what's going on here. How
you
can I
do?
help you?
Well, you know, I just was wondering about that shed out in back of this building. I'm John Hames. What's your name?
I'm Jim.
Hi, Jim. And I just wanted to introduce myself. I was kind of wondering what's going on with that shed back there.
So far, this is not going well.
For a second there, I thought he was going to take a swing at me. I didn't know for sure. Well, listen, Jim, I buy a lot of old cars and car parts and stuff, and just in case there's anything for sale in there.
There's a possibility there might be some items for sale.
So there's some engines or something in there?
I could say that, yes.
Would you mind showing me?
Well, I'll let you take a look.
Let's walk back there and see.
Ooh, John finally broke the ice, and now he gets to see what's behind these locks.
Oh my gosh. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. Oh, look at this.
Yeah, we've got some Moto Morini. This right here is some Moto Morini Moto Giro bikes.
Ducati.
Yep, that's a project that's going to get restored soon.
Really nice. He finally warmed up a little bit, and I knew there was something special in there. It wasn't cars though. It turned out it was vintage motorcycles, and I mean, wow.
This is a Moto V. We have an NSU Fox here.
Tell me about this NSU right here. I don't think I've ever seen one.
Oh, they were a major manufacturer in Germany for years. Most people just think that BMW was the only motorcycle manufacturer in Germany. NSU and DKW made motorcycles for years. After the war, the Germans had a lot of big machinery that necessarily wasn't bombed, so you'll notice this is all stamped steel.
Mm-hmm.
It does not have a tubular frame,
Right.
which was very common for German bikes of the period. This is early to mid 60s, and this bike is for sale.
Really? What does it take to buy that machine?
This would be about $2,800 in its current shape. We do have some boxes of extra parts. It is complete, and it would be an excellent restoration project.
I like it because it's sort of a big frame, you know. That's really cool. $2,800 with the spares?
That would be our price on it, yes.
Really? Well, let me puzzle on that a little bit. I think it's really, really cool. I don't think I'd probably run into another one anyway. What is this thing next to it?
Oh, this is a little Zundap scooter.
Zundap, I remember those.
These projects, this is a German Hummel, which is very Art Deco, and we obviously, a lot of times it takes 2 or 3 motorcycles to get the parts to build one good restored project. These Hummels are kind of next on the list to be restored. We've got a Gilera and a Mival on the restoration block. This is an Italian Sturzi, and this is actually going to be one of our key restorations. Extremely rare, never imported to the United States, and it'll be beautiful when we're done.
A Sturzi.
It's a Sturzi.
That's amazing. You know, I'm really a car guy, but I knew there was something really special and interesting in here, and I'd like to come back when we both have more time, and maybe we can take a look at that NSU for a little deal of some kind. What do you say, Jim?
I think we can do that.
Hey, I appreciate your time very much.
You're very welcome. It was good to have somebody coming and interested in the
I
motorcycles.
am really interested. Thank you again. It was the mother lode of vintage motorcycles. Just one amazing project. That Sturzi motorcycle that he showed me might be the only one in the United States. I wouldn't be surprised if it is. And you know, there's other stuff in there that I didn't get to see. I'd like to come back and see him again sometime when he's got more time. And you know, who knows, I might make an offer on that NSU. I've been thinking about a little motorcycle maybe that I could ride once in a while, and I thought that NSU was really cool, really cool.
Once again, John has hit the jackpot. That's what makes him the American car prospector, and maybe now, the American motorcycle prospector.
You know, a lot of people go home from work after dark, but that's actually some of the best time for the car prospector to be out because I can get a hold of people. I was having coffee in Sam's the other day, and this guy overheard me talking to somebody about cars, like happens a lot. And he told me about this Cutlass convertible that he's got stored on this property out in the country. Well, I met the entrance to this property that I heard about, and there's supposed to be a Cutlass convertible in here somewhere. There's supposed to be a little barn back in the back, and I can't even see it from here. It's clear out of town, nothing else out there except this abandoned farmhouse and this garage, evidently, with an old Cutlass convertible in it. It sounds like a pretty nice car. And some kind of big old barn or something, but it doesn't look like anybody's lived here for a long time. The property isn't maintained. There's weeds everywhere, and I don't know, man, this is kind of a different deal here. If it's what he says it is, and if he's anywhere close, I probably have somebody for it. Those convertibles are really popular. The Oldsmobile convertibles are very popular. Weeds everywhere, all the trees are all overgrown and falling down. But this is supposed to be a really pretty good car. Hasn't really been driven much in recent years, and it was just stored in a garage, and then somebody forgot about it. I don't know what the deal is. I haven't got all the information. Looks like there is some kind of a barn or something back here. So I get out to this place, and I'm not even sure it's the right place. Nobody around, middle of the night. It's about 10 degrees, and I think I have the right garage, but I'm not dead sure because there's nothing around there. I mean, there isn't even power to this property or anything. It must have been abandoned for a long time. Almost hit that pile of brush. There's a garage right there. I wonder. Well, doesn't look like there's been much activity here for a long time. When I got there, I wasn't really sure if it was actually even the place. I had to take the headlights of the truck to illuminate the garage so I could even see if I was in the right place or not. I had no idea if I was actually there. This is very remote. So, I mean, who puts their car in a place like that? But my car prospector sense tells me I better go and have a look behind that door and see what the heck's there, because if there was a car on this property, it would be right there. Well, let's go have a look.
This old farmstead definitely is not a place where you'd want to be this late at night. When we come back on the American Car Prospector, will John find the car he's looking for? Or will he find more trouble? Stay tuned. The American Car Prospector is out on an old abandoned road in the middle of nowhere, on an old abandoned farmstead. Not a place where you'd want to go and hang out for fun. And John doesn't even know if he's on the right property.
I finally found this abandoned farmhouse with this little garage all the way in the back of the property. Nobody'd been around there for a long time. It's really kind of spooky, actually. So when I got there, I wasn't really sure if it was actually even the place. I had to take the headlights of the truck to illuminate the garage so I could even see if I was in the right place or not. I had no idea if I was actually there. This is very remote, middle of the night, about 10 degrees.
He's got a lead on a classic Cutlass convertible. This better be worth it.
Yeah, there's something in there. There's a car in there for sure. It's the Cutlass. This is the barn, all right. Yeah, it looks like the door will come open. Oh, hello, gorgeous. So I opened the garage door, and there's this beautiful, I mean sexy, dead sexy Cutlass convertible. Man, look at that. I mean, that looks like an almost complete car. White interior, red, crazy great car. I mean, it's just something that my buyers are gonna fight over when they see it. Automatic. It's got the original radio. Look at that dash, it's perfect. I mean, it's just all dusty. Carpet looks good. I mean, this car is not rusty. This is a really good car. See if it's got, probably has the 350. Oh yeah. Chrome valve covers, chrome air cleaner. Looks like they did a little bit of work on it. The motor's nice and clean. Good car. I mean, somebody put some time and trouble into it. It's missing that center piece of the grill. And I can't really see it very well. Well, he gave me the keys. He told me I'd find it here. I'm gonna pull it out and drive it. I don't care if it is in the middle of the night and it's only 15 degrees. I'm gonna take it out and drive it. I'm gonna get the keys and start it. So I was talking to the guy on the phone, and I made him an offer of $10,000, and he said no. In fact, he told me he thought I was crazy, but I told him, okay, look, let me drive the car and I'll call you back. Wonder if it's got a good battery. I mean, it's been sitting in here for a while, that's for sure. Oh, this is a good car, man. Look at that. Oh, this thing is cool. I started it, you should have heard that engine. I mean, it just roared to life. Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, okay. Oil pressure is good. It looks like it's charging. I don't see any reason why I can't just pull it out of here. It only has 59,000 original miles. This is an insanely great car. Well, here goes nothing. Let it warm up for another minute. Wow, that sounds healthy. Oh yeah. The Cutlass comes out of the garage for the first time in who knows how long. Let's see, okay, oil pressure is good. It is charging and it's heated up. I think it's time to punch it. The gauges look good. I don't know what the deal is, but he's very anxious to get rid of it. I think he might be concerned about it where it's stored. I'd be a little concerned too, except that there's absolutely nothing out there. Might turn the heat on in here as well. I wonder if it works. Looks like the heater fan does not work. Took it a while to shift too. It probably has a shift kit in it based on what happened just then. Turn signal does not blink. So we'll give it a little manual blink. Let everyone know we're turning. These are a unibody car with a ladder frame. It's got a live axle in the back with leaf springs and a classic differential setup from General Motors. These A-body cars like this were, oh, they ran them 15 years or so on this platform. I think the Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser was on the same ladder frame and the same powertrain as this car. I think I'll give it a little gas here and see how she does. Oh yeah, muscle car. I love it. Love everything about it. Took the car out for a drive. I gotta tell you, this car is great. It has a really good motor in it, and he's done a lot of work on it. So I really want this car. I think I could do right by the next owner. You know, I got a guy in Asia that was looking for a good 442. I wonder if he might like to have a Cutlass convertible instead. Because boy, I could sure fix him up with this one depending on what I get for it. I can probably ask for a little bit of a fee for finding this. This was not easy. I mean, it's dead winter and it's cold. And nobody else is going to find that car, I'll tell you that. It's up to the American Prospector. Find this one and save it. I just don't want it sitting in the garage anymore, you know. It needs to be taken out and driven. I mean, this thing needs to have the top down and be in a parade with a lot of people looking at it. Maybe take it to some shows and have some fun with it. So anyway, I called this guy and I said, hey buddy, I drove it and it's just exactly what you thought it was. So anyway, we went back and forth on the price on the phone and we agreed to make a deal. It's got the Oldsmobile Rally wheels. Seams look nice and straight. Something's up with that hood. It looks like maybe it needs a piece of the center grille. Cold out here. You gotta love that exhaust note on this vehicle. Look at that classic Oldsmobile back end with the dual exhaust. This car is the sister ship to the 442. The 442 is just basically a Cutlass with a 4-barrel carburetor and dual exhaust and a 4-speed. Now this one's an automatic, but this is a performance muscle car, there's no doubt about it. I mean, kids, do not try this at home. He and I finally settled on a price right there on the phone. That was so cool that I knew where the keys were and I got to drive it. I made a deal. I never even met the guy. That Oldsmobile is super sexy and it's going to make a great car for the new owner. And I think it's another ace in the hole for the American Car Prospector.
Let's tally this deal up. John's purchase price on this beautiful Cutlass convertible, $12,000. John's Prospector fee, $3,000. John will be offering this Cutlass to his buyers group for only $15,000. The potential on this Cutlass, with a few minor fixes and upgrades, is in excess of $25,000. Looks like this late-night find for John is definitely going to pay off, even though it was a little creepy.
But time to put her back in the barn. Maybe go somewhere and have a beer. Cutlass convertible. American Car Prospector made another great find. Well, I was at this restaurant meeting with one of my car spotters, and this guy's really brought me a lot of interesting vehicles, and he was telling me about some cars I'm very, very excited about. But you know, while we were sitting there having coffee, I just noticed this very attractive woman that was sitting at the table next to me, and you know how it is when you're out and you're having something to eat, and you know that someone's listening to you at the table next door. It was that kind of a deal. Anyway, sure enough, after we finished our meeting, she just walked up to me and she said, you know, I noticed that you are knowledgeable about old cars. And she somehow or another, through some kind of a legal arrangement, ended up with the title to a Mustang convertible. So she had given me her card, and I got into the truck and just noticed that her address was about 5 blocks from where we were. And so she said, you know, I called her and she said, well, why don't you just come by right now? So I went by her house and rang the bell, and there she was at the door, and she had this file with all this paperwork in it from some sort of legal proceedings, and there was a court order there that the title of the car was hers to do whatever she wanted to do with. Well, I guess you just never know when you're the American car prospector. One minute you're having coffee and talking to some old boy about some cars, and the next minute you get to meet this pretty lady named Misty and find out about this mysterious Mustang that apparently arrived through some kind of legal background that we don't know about. Man, I hope this Mustang is as good as what she said it was on the phone. Let's take a look. Oh yeah. Hello, gorgeous. Hello, gorgeous, how are you? When I opened the garage, there was this beautiful, original Mustang convertible sitting there.
Well, look at that. Out of a cup of coffee and a chance meeting, the American Car Prospector has found one of America's most iconic cars, a '69 Mustang convertible. Ford came out with their first Mustang in 1964, and it became an instant hit for Ford, selling over 22,000 the first week this great car was available. That is a lot of ponies out of the corral. One of the rarest ever was a 1967 GT500 Shelby, which sold for $192,500. Hopefully, John will get a chance to make a deal on this great find.
I mean, this car's a good car. Look at that. Right down the line, this is the kind of car that I like to look for and I like to find. And it was the real deal. It had an automatic, dual exhaust, it was black interior. I mean, with this car all cleaned up, yeah, I've got buyers for this, or I might buy this one myself. I like it. It's a good car. Well, Mustang convertibles are just not that easy to find. A lot of them got water damage and rust in them because of the convertible tops. But this particular car was just as tight and as dry as the day it left the factory. Wow. A great original '69 Mustang. Gorgeous example of a Colorado rust-free muscle car. I could probably give her $13,000 for it and still come out. I don't know, let's see what she says. I hope she doesn't want $20,000 or something ridiculous for it. I looked the car over quite a bit, and I just needed to drive it before I made some sort of an offer on it. So I knocked on the door, and she just yelled out from the kitchen that the keys were in it and that I could take it out. I love that sound.
Looks like John's got his hands on a good find this time. A 1969 Mustang, a true classic.
I jumped into it and took it up and down the street a couple of times, and it really was a great car. It steered and stopped and drove just like it should. '69 Mustang convertible, the real deal. A car that's been in Colorado its whole life. I mean, this is a rare vehicle in this condition, in original condition. Let's see how it runs. That's what I'm talking about right there. V8 power, old school, muscle car. Love it, love everything about it. Black interior, original, V8. Oh, this is a great car.
When we come back on the American Car Prospector, will John get this deal done, or will he get weak in the knees from this pretty lady?
I think it's still too low.
She came back out to the garage and oh my gosh, I'm getting nervous even talking about it.
Stay tuned. The American Car Prospector has a hot deal going on a 1969 Mustang convertible. And for the first time, John is nervous about getting this deal done due to the owner, a beautiful woman who John is intimidated by. Will he go weak in the knees, or will he win this beautiful Mustang from this beautiful lady?
This car had not been monkeyed with, it had never been customized or had any work done to it. As far as I could tell, it was a completely original car. I was excited. I wanted to make an offer on this car, and I was willing to go more than the first offer that she'd had. So anyway, I knocked on the door and she came back out to the garage and oh my gosh, I'm getting nervous even talking about it. Well, I was thinking about 10,000 bucks.
You know it's worth more than that.
Yeah, all right.
I can't take
okay.
that.
She was a very attractive woman and tough negotiator. I mean, I really, honestly, I didn't think I was going to get the car.
How about 14? It's pretty fair.
I was thinking more like maybe about 11.
I think it's still too low. 13.5.
12.
13. I think 13 is a great price for both of us.
I tell you what, I'll do it for 12.9. How's that? Cash or check? Check you can cash?
Right now?
Right now, and I'll load it on the trailer and take it out of here. I'll meet you in the front as soon as we get it loaded. 12.9 cash?
Okay, you got a deal.
Thanks,
Sounds
Misty.
good. Yeah, thank you.
I promise we'll take good care of it.
I hope so.
Okay?
All right, I'll see you in front.
I'll meet you out there in just a minute as soon as we get it loaded.
Okay, thank you.
We finally made a transaction work for both parties and loaded the car up onto the truck and trailer. And the car was just everything that we hoped for. It was really fun to meet Misty, really a nice lady, and I hope sometime maybe when I'm out and about someday I run into Misty again. I'd just like to know her a little better, and I appreciated the chance to buy that car and to secure it for the next owner. I appreciated the chance to meet her and come by her house. Priced right for my buyer. Love it. Love everything about it. So it was just a great day to be the American Car Prospector.
Time to wrap this deal up. John's purchase price on this 1969 Ford Mustang convertible, $12,900. John's prospector fee, $3,000. John will be offering this to his buyers group at $15,900. It looks like the American Car Prospector had a great day and did it again.